structurally sound, it was insured. Jennifer Nichols, 7 News.
2 Filipino children are visiting the coast to say thank you for their lives. Maroochydor's Rotary Club members raised enough money to pay for their open heart surgery.
Meet 6-year-old Charlyn and 4-year-old Jonathan, the newest members of a very special club.
There's the Zipper Club.
Both have just had open heart surgery thanks to the Rotary Club's overseas medical aid for children. Without help, the young Filipinos faced a bleak future.
Jonathan would be dead by the time, within a year or two. Charlyn would not have survived to her teenage years.
Charlyn Story is nothing short of a miracle. She was still in the womb when her mother was diagnosed with bone cancer and told to abort. The brave woman refused and died shortly after giving birth, her sister adopting Charlyn. When doctors found a hole in Charlyn's heart, her new mother wrote to every agency in the world for help. Finally, Rotary answered the call. The Maroochydore branch raised almost $18,000 at a special auction dinner, more than enough for both children's operations.
Well, there are lots of people to thank, certainly all those Rotarians who were there, but also the friends, and particularly those, of course, that really did the bidding.
Charlyn and Jonathan are now well on the road to recovery, enjoying a weekend on the Sunshine Coast with their mums, who just can't say thanks enough.
Thank you for giving them another chance to live a normal life.
Neither child too young to appreciate the miracle of life.
Thank you, Rotarians. Thank you, Australia. Thank you, everybody, for fixing my heart.
The families will head home next month. Tamara Henderson, 7 News.
The Vietnam War may long be over, but veterans and their families are still
will head home next month. Tamara Henderson, 7 News.
The Vietnam War may long be over, but veterans and their families are still struggling to deal with the legacy.
This program proudly brought to you by Camping World, Kelly Trucks and James Home Services.
I've learned that winning principles can work equally well in other areas of your life. And for you, a James Home Services franchise can offer an exciting new direction for your acquired business skills.
After years in the same line of work, I needed a change, a challenge, and the James franchise has given me that. I'm my own boss, business is booming, and I've got a new lease on life.
Take the first step towards financial independence, security, and personal satisfaction. Free call about a James Home Services franchise now.
In what looked like an unfair matchup, Bridgestone invited Mr. Brock to race Mrs. Brock to help prove the superiority of their new tyres with Donuts technology. To even things up, only Mrs. Brock's car was fitted with new Donuts tyres, leaving Mr. Brock to rely on his skill. As you can see, when it comes to better handling, skill has little to do with it. Donuts, unique to Bridgestone.
You just can't control yourself, Peter, can you?
Take it easy, Beth.
Retrovision's nationwide buying power means you always pay less. Save a huge $50 on Akai Hi-Fi with turntable, now just $549, or quality Panasonic Micro Hi-Fi, now $279. Only at Retrovision.
Buy anywhere else and you'll pay too much.
For safer holiday driving, oops, get Bridgestone's experts to fit donuts. Tyres that'll stop you sooner. And the sooner you fit them, the better. Talk about donuts to the experts at your Bridgestone Tyre Centre.
Tonight in 7 News, the shark alert moves to the Sunshine Coast. The hunt for the Valley knife attack suspect, Martina Hingis' Australian stalker unrepentant, and a John Eales milestone as the Reds display a dramatic form reversal.
Welcome back to the Great Southeast. Gatton Speedway is home to kart and bike racing. When you're talking bike racing, you've got two types. You've got your solo bikes and your sidecars. And having established the fact that I am not, by any definition of the word, a bike rider, I'll be playing passenger on one of the sidecars in a position known as the swinger. And speaking of swinging, Aniela Hedic is at a class learning to do just that.
raised a few eyebrows when I said I was swinging tonight. But let's just get that straight. I came here to dance. How am I doing, Brad?
Swing is a distant relative of tap dancing and the Charleston. It originated in the ballrooms of Harlem, New York in the late 1920s. Tonight we are going to join the Over Easy Club and get a few tips from longtime swinger Paula Hackney.
Swinging, how would you describe swing dancing?
It's cool, it's fun, and it's very, very jazzy and very spontaneous.
Paula, tell us about your dance group.
Well, we're called Alive and Swingin', and that is myself and Lucinda Knight, a very good dancer.
Ladies, change partners.
And we've been dancing this style for about 4 years, and we started this club here, the Over Easy Club, to provide a social atmosphere for people to dance and for people who want to get a little taste of the dance style.
And a rock step under the arm.
What about previous dance experience? Is that necessary?
None. Two left feet are welcome. No partner required. No dance experience. We'll show you all the moves and get you moving in no time.
And what about clothing and footwear, Paula?
Something casual, something comfortable. Some people like to dress up in the retro gear. So if you're into that, go for it. Flat-soled shoes are really good. A leather sole helps you move on the floor.
Oh, well, Paula, I've got the flat shoes. Might be a bit thick, though, I think.
So you're the swinging spice.
The evening starts with a 1-hour beginners class where Lucinda Knight takes you through the steps.
What do you think of swing dancing?
I love it.
You love it?
Yeah, I've been doing it for 5 months or so. Hang on.
The class gives everyone enough time to warm up before the joint really gets jumping with Swingin' Miss B and the brand new Sweetie.
Well, the dancing's great, but I must admit I do need to refuel myself. So I'm just going to sit here, catch my breath, enjoy the music and grab a bite to eat.
The Over Easy Club has just the right mix of music, dance, food and flavour that keeps people coming back for more. Swing dancing is heaps of fun and it's a little bit physical as well. You can take it at your own pace, but before too long, you'll be swinging with the best of them. The Over Easy Club run regular classes at the zoo on Tuesday nights. They are holding a special event at the Tivoli Cabaret and Bar in Fortitude Valley this Friday the 7th of April. The cost is $12 for adults and $10 for concession. Doors open at 7 p.m. and the swing class runs from 8 till 9 p.m. For more information though, call the Alive and Swinging Dance Group.
Few things are sweeter than breakfast in bed, and here's a little idea that's so simple you might just be able to talk someone into making it for you. How long has it been since you've eaten a waffle? Delicious little things they are, and you buy them just like that, already made. You just need to pop them in the toaster or under the grill to warm them up. The other thing we're going to grill is some fruit. Whatever's in season, stone fruit is lovely when it's around, otherwise pineapple, apples, even some grapefruit. So put the fruit and the waffles onto a tray, sprinkle them generously with brown sugar and a shake of nutmeg. Then place everything under a hot grill and it'll take about 5 minutes for the fruit to caramelise and the waffles to warm up. That's just how you want them to look. Golden brown, grilling does beautiful things to fruit. Top the waffles and fruit with some mascarpone cheese. Now that's a real touch of lusciousness. If you want to go lighter, just use vanilla yogurt. And I'd be very happy to get that for breakfast in bed.
Still to come on the Great Southeast, Laurel visits the home of a wildlife carer and Kay's got plenty of ideas on what to get up to next week.
Ever had trouble getting a date?
Even the fat, ugly girls with facial hair said no.
Well, guess who can help?
Is there a Ling Wu here?
I'm Ling Wu.
Ma'am, we have a warrant for your arrest. She's been running an escort service for underage boys.
For your chance to score a double pass to the exclusive premiere of Erin Brockovich at Birch Carolyn Coyle's Maroochydore Cinemas, be watching 7's Ally McBeal on Monday night at 8:30. Look for the cue to call and enter as many times as you like. Thanks to 7 Sunshine Coast and Birch Carolyn Coyle's Maroochydore Cinemas.
You get a whole lot more than the great outdoors at Camping World.
There's a huge 25% off the big range of Austrail sleeping bags. Large shower tents, only $99. Quality action chairs with arms, just $29.95. Bonus comm and cooler packs are only $69. And don't forget to pick up your copy of Tomo's Cookbook.
Camping World.
Aerodrome Road, Maroochydore.
It's a world only a few hours away. An experience that lies at the heart of Australia. You'll do things you've never done before. And when you come back, you'll feel a different person. But you'll never know if you never go. So talk to a Territorian today. Call 1-800-621-336.
Sources in Canberra today announced a special GST on the full range of Kawasaki workhorse ATVs, from the nimble 220cc through to the Go Anywhere 400cc four-wheel drive auto. The GST can't last forever, so see your Kawasaki dealer soon. What is this GST?
With GST just around the corner, there's never been such a great savings time on Kawasaki ATVs. So see your Kawasaki dealer today for a great deal and beat the GST. Get the GST.
As kids,
Toss your clothes on the floor.
they were helpless. Now, as adults, they're a little tougher. Payback time. An all-star cast in the true story that had to be told.
You're asking me to lie.
Sleepers, tonight on 7.
The Great South East remembers tennis great Rod Laver, better known as the Rockhampton Rocket. Laver is the only player in tennis history to have won 2 Grand Slams. He won firstly in 1962 and yet again in '69. Over the years, he's also helped steer Australia to victory at the Davis Cup, winning 20 of his 24 singles games. In 1974, after turning pro, Laver was the first player to earn over $1 million in career prize money. Sadly, in '98, he suffered a stroke, and his recovery proved to be his toughest battle yet.
I never dreamed that something like this would happen. I loved playing the game. I competed all around the world and was, I guess I was successful, but this is sort of a crowning achievement on my whole tennis career.
In 1999, Laver's tennis achievements were recognised with the renaming of Melbourne Park's main arena. Now known as the Rod Laver Arena, players and fans will never forget the contribution of the Rocky Rocket.
Helen Perry's own children haven't been bottle-fed for over 10 years. However, the charges in Helen's care require regular feeding, hours of attention, and someone to clean up after them. Leif here is just one of the dozen or so youngsters that Helen is currently looking after as her job as a carer for the organisation called Wildlife Volunteers. Isn't he cute? Wildlife Volunteers, or WILVO, is a 24-hour phone line service designed by Queensland Parks and Wildlife to encourage people to report animals in need of assistance. There are hundreds of carers working for WILVO, and Helen has been doing so for the past 6 years. Helen, how did you become a carer?
I was watching TV one day on just a Sunday afternoon show or something or other, and they had this little segment on this lady that looked after animals, and I thought, that's something I'd like to do.
And you've lasted this long, so you obviously love what you do.
Yeah, I do. I can't imagine life without them now that we've been doing it. Yeah.
And is it a full-time job looking after the animals?
Yeah, you are, because you're feeding on a 4-hourly basis, just as you would a human baby. Yeah, so it's virtually the same as being the mum of a little bub. Yeah, you do it for every 4 hours, and you're committed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So yeah, it is full-time, I suppose. And the more babies you have, naturally, the more time-consuming it is.
Yeah. Helen's house and yard have been designed to accommodate her animals. Indoors live a number of joeys, a koala, a ring-tailed possum, and 2 frogmouths. Outdoors are flying foxes, possums, wallabies, and kangaroos. Next Sunday, the 9th of April, WILVO is holding an information day where people who are interested in becoming a wildlife carer can sign up. Queensland Parks and Wildlife Ranger Jenny Parsons will be there to answer questions and offer advice. Well, Shay's obviously enjoying a little bit of afternoon tea here at the moment. Jenny, what are the requirements for being a carer?
Okay, well you do need what's called a rescue permit to become a carer. Another way to go about it is to join one of our care groups, which is what we generally recommend. If they're an incorporated group, you will be covered under their permit, so.
Oh, isn't he gorgeous? Now, this is Sonny, isn't it?
This is Sonny, yes.
Sonny. Now, Sonny's injured at the moment. Are the carers responsible for veterinary costs and the food, etc.?
Okay, well they are responsible for the food. That is all part and parcel, but it's definitely worth it. Now, veterinary costs, some vets will ask you to cover expenses, but you'll have to talk to your local vet about that, see what they're willing to help you out with.
The Wildlife Care Information Day is on Sunday the 9th of April from 1 till 4 p.m. at Moggle. There'll be a number of different speakers available, including carers who are experienced in looking after various animals.
Hello again. I hope you've had a great weekend. Now, let me tell you about some things to see and do in the Great South East. The Ipswich Parade is on next Saturday, so why not join the crowds and enjoy over 60 colourful entries, including dancers, street performers, brass bands and some wonderfully decorated community floats. The parade starts at 11 a.m. at the top of town and will continue along Brisbane Street. Rupert McCaw will also be there, so make sure you stop by and say good day. The parade will be televised on Channel 7 on Saturday the 15th at 10 a.m. If you're keen for a day at the beach next Sunday, then Coolangatta's the place to be for the Heritage Festival. It's on at the Queen Elizabeth Park. You'll find that on the beachfront at Coolangatta. There'll be live music, dancing and displays. The action will be happening from 10 a.m. until 3 and entry is free. Now, if unsolved crime interests you, then you might want to check out the latest exhibition at the State Library, titled It's Murder. Running until the 31st of May, the exhibition features photographs, police reports and newspaper clippings of solved and unsolved crimes in Queensland dating from 1898. Exhibition hours are Monday to Thursday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m, Friday to Sunday from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m, and again, the best news is it's all free. Why not come eye to eye with the largest creatures on Earth at the latest IMAX film, Whales? Currently showing at the IMAX Theatre at Southbank, it's the newest large format film. That gives audiences the sensation of being totally immersed in the ocean with these amazing mammals. Admission prices $13.95 for adults, $9.95 for the children. Call IMAX for session times. And for more What's On information, check out our website. It's greatsoutheast.com.au. And I hope to see you tomorrow night for 7 News with Frank.
Stay tuned because after the break, I'll be riding sidecar at the Gatton Speedway. I'll see you in a minute. Righto!
Voltaren Emel Gel provides effective relief from back, joint and muscle pain. And for powerful pain, you need something that gets you back to normal fast. Previously only available on prescription, Voltaren Emel Gel's special formula is absorbed through the skin and reaches right to the problem area, where the active ingredient diclofenac reduces inflammation and relieves the pain. Voltaren Emel Gel relieves powerful pain.
It's hard to know what you should do. Do you know what I think? I think...
Don't let another minute go by without spending an hour with us. Because in around an hour, a Westpac financial advisor can help you with your investment, super, retirement and insurance needs and make recommendations. Then you'll know exactly where you're headed financially.
Do you know what I think? I think you should just go ahead and do it.
Want clear financial advice? We're with you.
Imagine having all the hold of a hairspray with flexibility for natural movement. Introducing Schwarzkopf Extra Care with Elastin. For flexible hold you can barely feel. From Schwarzkopf.
Imagine holding the key to a magical place. A treasure house filled with wonderful stories.
Hiya, Pooh!
See great family movies and fabulous adventures.
It's Flubber!
The very best in family fun is yours to enjoy. Unlock everyday magic. Magic every day on the Disney Channel. Only on Ozstar. Call 132 432.
Hi,
Charlyn Swim Schools have just opened a brand new heated facility at Caloundra for aqua and light aerobic exercises. Water is the perfect medium for exercise as it reduces joint compression and associated wear. Aqua exercise improves your blood supply, breathing, burns calories, increases flexibility and endurance, and most importantly, the quality of life. To find out more about our range of classes and home pickup service, phone 54380022. That's 54380022.
If you need fencing, then Fence Pack does it all. This dog wire just $85. Rural pine logs 10% off. Chain wire also discounted 10%. Take the Thrill Hill exit off Nambour Connection Road.
Fence Pack, we do it all.
Dentists use Colgate Total more than any other toothpaste. Do you think they're onto something? Colgate Total, the dentist's choice.
The Gatton International Speedway track was open to competitors in September last year, and at this stage of the game welcomes only motorbikes, karts and small vehicles with motorbike engines. But the regulars are the motorbikes like these guys. These are 500cc solo bikes, also known as sliders, you can see why. And for experienced riders like this, for the half-kilometre course here at the Gatton Showgrounds, it usually takes about 17 seconds. And that is flying. You can find the Gatton Speedway at the Showgrounds in Gatton, about 1 hour's drive west of Brisbane. And when competitions aren't on, you're also likely to find the likes of Trent Leverington and Scotty Smith doing a few laps. Well done, boys. Who won the race? It was pretty close.
Yeah, I think Scotty just got me on the line, I think.
You're going to claim that one, Scotty?
Oh, I think so, mate.
What was your first motorbike? You remember?
Pee-wee 50.
Pee-wee 50.
Pee-wee 50.
I was
actually a late starter. I didn't get my first bike. I was about 14.
Yeah.
And it was a 125 motocross bike.
Do you reckon this is a bit faster than the Pee-wee 50?
Oh, yeah.
How many laps in a proper race?
4 usually. Can go up to 6. Overseas, they have a thing called the 16-lapper with 8 guys. I mean, that's really endurance stuff, but you don't see anything like that in Australia. But someday, maybe.
Scott's hoping to head off to Europe to compete in the near future, and Trent's planning on sticking to the local circuit for the time being. Now, if you're like me, the solo bikes look fast enough, but bring on the sidecars with twice the engine size and twice the load, and let's compare the difference. Hey, you remember early in the show I was telling you that I'll be playing the swinger? Well, the time has arrived for Bill and myself to swing into action. Righto, mate. The role of the swinger is to balance the bike while cornering, a pretty important job. As you can see, the guys and girls that have been doing it for a while get pretty low to the ground, and at over 100 kilometres per hour, you'd want to have a lot of confidence in your rider. I felt confident enough on board with Bill Sewell Sr., who's been riding sidecars for 45 years. It was just my own ability that I didn't have as much faith in. Over the years, Bill has gone through about 8 swingers, and I did think there for 1 minute that he was trying to get rid of number 9. Sometimes these older blokes are crazier than the young fellas. Woo! Thanks, mate.
Good fun, ain't it?
That's good fun. I'm swinging now. Speedway meetings are held at the Gatton Showgrounds once per month. The next meeting is on Saturday the 15th of April from 5 p.m. and it's the grand final of the Travel Bug Lockyer Valley All-Stars. Entry costs $12 for adults and $8 concessions, with kids under 12 free. Or if you're interested in competing in future meetings at the Speedway, contact the number on your screen. If you're after more information on anything you've seen on today's show, then send a stamped, self-addressed envelope to the Great South East, GPO Box 604, Brisbane 4001, Or why not visit our website at www.greatsoutheast.com.au. If you're a bit of a camping enthusiast, then you'd want to pick yourself up a copy of Camp Oven Cooking with Tomo. In his cookbook, Tomo presents the best of his camp oven creations. The book's available for $9.95 from selected camping stores, or by calling the toll-free number, sending a cheque or money order to the Creek to Coast office, or via the internet. Hey, look out, Mickey Doan. We're coming after you, mate. Thanks very much, Bill, for giving me a thrill this week.
One of the greatest passengers I've had. Fantastic.
Thank you. I'll ride with you anytime.
Thank you, friend.
That's all we've got time for. But don't forget, we'll be back next week, full speed ahead, 5:30, out and about in the Great Southeast. And I'll see you then.
Cast and crew of the Great Southeast choose to drive vehicles supplied and serviced by Motorama, the Autos Superstore.
This program proudly brought to you by Camping World, Kelly Trucks and James Home Services.
Ever had trouble getting a date?
Even the fat, ugly girls with facial hair said no.
Well, guess who can help?
Is there a Ling Wu here?
I'm Ling Wu.
Ma'am, we have a warrant for your arrest. She's been running an escort service for underage boys.
She's going down Monday on Alley.
For office stationery,
Copy paper.
pens,
Computer accessories.
postpack,
Envelopes. Prepaid.
express post,
Puzzle post.
my business centre,
My business centre.
Australia Post. Catalogue out now.
So who's making holiday safety a big deal then?
Bob is!
If you're travelling this Easter, you need the peace of mind of a Bob Jane Easter safety check. It's a big deal at just $35, and if you do need new tyres, these budget steels can be yours for just $39. And these alloys are the real deal at just $99. So who's got the best big deal catalogue this Easter?
Bob has!
Bob who?
In motor racing, there's no substitute for performance. And for my money, the same applies to mowers, which is why I choose to go with Greenfield. For over 30 years, Greenfield has built for performance in some of Australia's toughest conditions. There's a full range of ride-on and domestic mowers, plus practical, hard-working accessories that set the pace in quality, reliability and value. Greenfield, excellence through innovation.
With Tracy Challinor. This is 7 News.
Tonight, a woman abducted, but a mobile phone prevents a worse fate. North Queensland prepares for another cyclone battering. The shark alert moves north to the Sunshine Coast. And Australia on the verge of a test whitewash. Good evening. A mother's phone call has saved her daughter from being raped. The 21-year-old Sunshine Coast woman was terrorised for 3 hours by a gunman, but managed to escape when her mobile phone rang.
Minutes after police received the report, a massive manhunt was underway for the man who abducted a Coolum woman at gunpoint this morning. She was driving along the busy Budrum-Mooloolaba road at around 8 o'clock when her ordeal began.
She noticed a vehicle on the side of the road with the bonnet up. She also noticed a male who she thought was a friend of hers.
The man flagged her down, but he wasn't friendly.
This person produced a concealable firearm wrapped in a towel and told her to get back in the car. He got in the back seat of the car.
The woman told police she was forced to drive around the Sunshine Coast for several hours at gunpoint before being directed into bushland beside the Landsborough Primary School. The man assaulted her and was threatening to rape the woman until her mother rang on the mobile phone.
Phone has rang and he's been startled, and she's run in one direction, he's run in another direction.
Police are looking for a Caucasian man in his 20s with short dark hair, possibly hitchhiking. They warn he may strike again. On the Sunshine Coast, Belinda Luton, 7 News.
North Queensland is bracing itself for Cyclone Tessie, expected to hit the region tomorrow morning. At last report, Tessie was 250 kilometres east of Cardwell, packing winds of up to 120 kilometres.
Hot cover.
In the last few months, we at Pino Clean have received hundreds of calls telling us how much you like our basin, bath and tile cleaner. Unfortunately, so has Monsieur Jacques Pinu Clean of Bronte. So if you wish to call, here's the correct number.
Shopping's breeze right at Noosa Junction Plaza. You'll feel at ease when you try a Noosa smile. Everything you need right here at Noosa Junction Plaza.
Noosa Junction Plaza, shopping Noosa style.
Want a cat or dog but find they make you sneeze?
The only solution is a non-allergenic pet, and they do exist.
Plus, the animal that comes with its very own mobile. Harry's Practice, tonight 6:30 on 7.
And welcome back, and the highlight for us here today, Andre Agassi joining us. Congratulations, Andre. It was a wonderful match.
Yeah, it certainly felt that way, and you know, I was playing against a great baseliner, and I knew one thing today: we were going to have long rallies, and I was going to have a good opportunity to find my range.
Did the day feel a bit different? It was a bright sun out there. It was a bit warmer than we've had. I mean, very different to your conditions with Pete on Thursday night.
Yeah, extremely different, and different than it's been pretty much for the whole tournament. I mean, we've had very cool weather, so all of a sudden when the sun came out, it is a bit different, but you prepare for that. You prepare for worst case scenarios. You drink a lot of fluids, and you get ready for what could be a miserable day, and the next thing you know, when the weather changes and it gets hot, you're ready for it.
The rallying in the first set was phenomenal. It went mainly Kafelnikov's way early, didn't it? But I mean, you were hitting the lines, you were both hitting it so hard, it was just breathtaking.
Yeah, you know, Evgeny had to come out today, I felt like, and get a good start, because I think there was much more of a chance for me to run away with the match than for him to. And he did, you know. I got to say that he came out knowing when he got the right ball, he was going to take advantage out of it. As soon as the ball was sitting fat, he just unloaded on it. That was a go 40-15 at 5-3. And you know, he took his chances at the right moment and came up with some big shots, but it quickly turned into a physical match, and I kind of liked how that was developing there.
It was interesting, you were also behind in that first set, and there was an overrule against you, yet you kept your call. I mean, you must have been pretty mad about that at the time.
Well, I never really appreciate overrules. I kind of feel like it's always going to throw a curve into the match, just simply because, you know, there's calls that are missed, you feel like one way or the other, you know, your whole career, and just for the umpire to randomly say, well, I'm pretty sure about that one, is always a bit unsettling. And, you know, some go for you, some go against, but you got to move on. You got to get to the next point.
You did wear him down. I mean, we saw some toe-to-toe hitting. There's one rally that was unforgettable where you and he just sort of teed off at one another.
Oh, backhand to backhand? Yeah, that's a bit of an ego thing between us. I mean, he definitely has a great backhand, and I certainly count on mine. So it was one of those where it was like, hey, listen, I'm not backing down. He wasn't backing down. You got to respect that. He was against the wind on that side, so he had to flatten out his ball a little bit more there, and I could work a little bit of spin, so I had more margin for error. So I kind of looked better than I should have there.
The drop shots were interesting. I mean, we haven't seen much of you doing this. I mean, and you were so effective, 5 out of 5 at one stage with them.
Yeah, you know, Evgeny is a great mover, and he's kind of plays 5 meters beyond the baseline, and he takes good, clean swings at the ball. And I felt like one of the things that I needed to establish was get him in a little bit, because the bottom line is it's hard to go through somebody who moves as well as he does, who hits the ball so well off both wings, who plays that far behind the baseline, because he's only looking to step into the ball one time during the point, and that's all he needs. So I just felt like if I could get him to start thinking about coming up a little bit, that would make my power game a bit more effective.
It was extremely effective. I mean, it was basically foolproof for you and at important points. He also double faulted, Andre, some key points, didn't he? I mean, did you feel as if you were wearing him down both physically and mentally?
After facing Pete's second serve, nobody's second serve concerns me so much, so all of a sudden when I got those doubles, I wasn't sure if he was having a rough serving day or if I was just back to reality a little bit. But, his second serve isn't the strength of his game. He relies on sneaking a lot of first serves, and he relies on kind of getting into the point, and I knew I could take advantage and make him worry about it a little bit.
In the fourth set, the final set as it turned out, there was probably a 10-minute period where he was matching you again, and you felt that if he could get back and break you once, that this match might take another turn. Is that the way you felt, or did you feel like you had it then?
Well, you never feel like you have it. You always got to close it out. But I felt like somewhere in there he got a second wind, and I hadn't even asked for my second wind yet. So if he had broken me back, I felt like there was another gear for me to shift to, at least as far as my discipline of shot selection. And he had a long ways to go, and that's what I was trying to tell myself. He's down 2-1. He's down a break. Keep executing your shots. Keep making it tough on him. And if he can come back from the hole that he's in, then he'll deserve it.
He's a mighty fine player. We looked up his record. The 4 men that have beaten him at the Australian Open have all won the championship. He lost to Sampras in '94. He lost to you at the quarters in '95. He lost to Becker at the quarters in '96 and lost to you today. I mean, he's got a great record out here, hasn't he?
He does, I mean, I think if there's any shot that Evgeny struggles with, it's when the forehand stays low, because he starts wrapping that ball in the frame a lot. And on this rebound ace, the ball sits up, and I tell you what, the guy has a big strike zone. If the ball's up, he can control the point against most guys, and he plays with such effective spin that he's jerking the ball around the court, and he's really stretching the opponents out. He also returns well, and if the court's playing quick like it is, he can even sneak a lot of easy holds. I mean, the guy's a tough player to beat. That's why he's #2 in the world.
Some people think I like my stats, Andre. I said to you about your quarter-final stats, and you said, gee, I wish my final stats were like that. You're now 6-5 in finals, but you lost your first 3 Grand Slam finals. You won 6 of your last 8. Pete's the only bloke to have beaten you since 1991 in a Grand Slam final.
Yeah, Pete has a way of interfering with my career, But I tell you what, you go out into a finals, and it's tough because, it's the first time the whole tournament where you just feel like you've worked so hard, and somehow you have to keep in perspective that it doesn't boil down to it's all or nothing. It boils down to continuing a certain game plan, a certain execution, and making a guy play great tennis to beat you. And you learn that. You learn that later on in your career. My first few, I went out there, I think I was a little nervous. I wasn't executing my shots. I was hoping my opponent was going to lose. And, now I'm going out there saying, listen, I have game. I'm going to bring it to the table, and if you can stop it, well, then I'll shake your hand and move on.
End of a Grand Slam's always like a punctuation point. This time last year, if you take your Grand Slam record, you've had 28 matches for 27 wins since Spadea beat you here at the Australian Open. I mean, it's been an amazing run, hasn't it, really?
Yeah, it's been crazy.
Yeah.
It's been crazy.
Does it take a lot out of you? I mean, is it like running a marathon this whole fortnight to get ready and then basically, I guess, cut everything else out of your mind for a fortnight and play some of the finest players of the world and come through and win?
It does take a lot out of you, but it also gives you a lot too. I mean, this is what we play for. This is what makes all your hard work worth it. I mean, like I said in the acceptance speech, I mean, I was out there training on Christmas Eve, and you're doing it for sometimes reasons you're not that clear about at the time, but when you get out there in front of the people and you have a physical day and you're in shape and you're prepared and you've put yourself in position just to give yourself the best shot, not even with any guarantees that it's going to go well for you, you realize what all the hard work's all about, and there's no feeling like it. So by the same token, I think it gives you a lot.
Well, you had 3 absolutely monumental matches here, Philippoussis, Sampras and Kafelnikov in the space of the last week, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I had to earn it, and it makes it feel that much better.
I want to ask one last question. You mentioned the acceptance speech. Steffi, I don't know how difficult this will be, but a lot of us probably expected that you might mention her at the acceptance speech. She's such a well-known and popular champion here. Was that something you thought about, Andre?
Mentioning her?
Well, she's been your friend here for 2 weeks, along with Brad and along with Gil.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're talking about people who work with my profession,
Yep. But that support as well, I mean...
Yeah, it's wonderful support. She's not confused as to how much I appreciate it.
No, that's fine. I mean, I just felt like I was compelled to ask.
Yeah, no. You know, I just, you know, I kind of feel like most people tend to feel, which is certain things are sacred, and our relationship is for us and not for the world.
Well, once again, you've shown a lot of class, as always. Congratulations, your tennis has been breathtaking.
Yeah, it's been fun, thanks.
I hope you keep coming back.
I look forward to it. It's a great place to play.
And keep winning. And give us your signatures you always do at the end. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's quite a memory.
Yeah, well done, Andre, and this at the end. A wonderful championship and a wonderful performance.
Thanks.
We'll take a break and be back with more right after this.
The Shark tees off against British Open champ Paul Lawrie, young Aussie sensation Aaron Badley, Olazabal, Langer and Daly. The richest golf tournament in the country, the Greg Norman Holden International, begins Thursday on 7.
GJ Gardner Homes looks to the future with the new Home Buyer's Guide CD. Explore Gardner's virtual office. Design your new home at home. Change your brick colour. Choose your roof colour. Now the choice is yours. Design your dream house from the comfort of your desktop. It's that easy. See your new home on your block of land. Know your budget. There's over 75 plans to choose from, all at the touch of your mouse. Call into any GJ Gardner Homes office to pick up your CD today.
It's a GJ, it's gotta be a GJ Gardner Home.
Insects aren't just annoying. In Queensland, they can also carry serious diseases. Today, Brandpower looks at Aerogard Insect Repellent. It contains DEET, one of the most effective insect repellents known to man. Biting insects are attracted by chemical and physical signals from our bodies. Aerogard produces a vapour barrier which blocks these signals, protecting your family for hours. Look for Aerogard including tropical strength, low scent, and now new Aerogard 2-in-1 with 30+ sunscreen. Brandpower, helping you buy better.
Hey, you need oil.
No way, this tastes heaps better.
But baby, it's a lead. Greasy peanut butter cooks me off a half a mile. Greasy peanut butter. So you to spread, so through the bread.
I like Kraft peanut butter best because it's never oily and never dry.
Pretty slick, huh?
Kraft peanut butter. Never oily, never dry.
Where is technology taking us? How will we see things in the future? LG Electronics, digital technology that's changing the way we view the world right now. Crystal clear picture, totally flat screen, power surround sound, Flatron, never seen before.
LG, life's good.
Found anything? Not yet. Any luck? No.
Wonder White may look and taste like soft white bread, but it contains fibre ground so fine, it's invisible.
I reckon it tastes too good to have fibre in it. Yeah, then why do they keep telling us it does? That's adult for you, Freddy boy.
Wonder White, great tasting white bread with invisible fibre.
Imagine the dream job.
We want you.
Wealth and power.
I want to give you everything.
Then,
your life as you know it is over.
no escape.
If we run, they find us.
John Grisham's The Firm, Thursday, 8:30 on 7.
Welcome back. This was a moment ago. People looking into the studio window here when we were lucky enough to be talking to Andre just a minute or two ago. And when he walked out of the studio, there was a mighty roar, I can tell you. Well, we've tried to work out what sums up this tournament the best. It's been 2 weeks of magnificent tennis, but it was that fourth set against Sampras that really shaped the tournament. On Thursday night, we're going to the fourth set at the moment. It's 2 games all. Sampras and Agassi hitting it out. Sampras led him by 2 sets to 1. And this, as I said, really did define the tournament in the end.
Well, there was a fault, as you heard, and game Samp, and now.
He called it because I didn't hear the call.
There's some real emotion on the court.
He called it.
and some real feeling. Andre looks upset.
Second serve.
Second serve.
Well, Andre went and
Now, game Sampras, as if to prove a point.
17-5 game in 2.
So 3-2 at that stage. We're going right back. John Fitzgerald's just dropped in. You spoke to Brad Gilbert. We heard the interview. It was interesting. Andre came in and said Brad doesn't like the drop shots too much, didn't he?
Well, I don't really blame Brad. I mean, I think along the same lines as he does. I think the drop shot in those situations was incredibly chancy, but he was on a roll, wasn't he? And he explained why he hit the drop shot, Bruce. It was because his opponent, Yevgeny, was several metres behind the baseline, and he thought that he wanted to bring him in a little bit. Anyway, even if he got to the drop shot and lost the point, it was having an effect, he thought, on his opponent. So, you know, he had his reasons to do it, but it was interesting to see that he was probably doing it against his coach's wishes, but it paid off.
And anything else from Brad? I mean, he just seemed so sincerely pleased and proud of the way Andre had played, I guess.
Yeah, off camera, he said that he was concerned that 4-2 game in the last set, when they went on and on, they had about 10 juices. He thought, obviously, if he won that game, Andre, he was going to break the back of Yevgeny, but he was a little bit concerned that he lost it, but his boy was still able to come through in the end and serve it out.
Well, I've just been privy to listening to you and Andre discussing how many Grand Slams he might win in the future, but he's a more conservative than you. Let's go back to this fourth set. It's Fitzy calling with J.A. and Sandy, and it's 2-3 Agassi serving.
Look out.
And this was really imprudent of Andre. He had that point won.
He just had to punch that backhand volley down the line, didn't he?
These aces on the vital points really devastate Andre Agassi. He plays so hard to get the chances and to have them stolen so cruelly by aces time and time again on the critical points really take an emotional toll. Well, he's got to pick himself up right now.
Nerves of steel, though, Agassi. Just a little slip up in this situation, and this match could be over in 5 or 10 minutes. Sampras plays the right play here. He comes in and puts Agassi under extreme pressure at love 30.
No tempering on the forehand. Hit to its absolute limit. All taken on the rise. Just centimetres inside the baseline. No room for error. 30 all.
That brings up break point to Sampras.
This is no ordinary break point either. This is a monster.
Well, it's more than that. It's virtually the match.
He went for the big one.
Well, you've got to hand it to Agassi. I know Sampras dropped that return of serve a little bit short, but these are some of the best ground strokes this game has ever seen. Under this sort of pressure, he can hit the ball this hard and this accurately, Agassi, and just sneaks in to finish that point off after that magnificent forehand.
Useful approach shot, wasn't it?
Oh.
Advantage Agassi. Again,
176 Ks, and he holds serve. And he stays in the match. He stays in the fourth set.
3 games over. Thank you. 15 love.
I shouldn't say it, but it can become almost monotonous. We know what he's going to produce.
Well, just makes it even more obvious how important that previous game was from Agassi.
Beautiful. Yeah.
That's called choosing the right time to lob. And Agassi is aware that Sampras is sweating on the forehand up the line, so he's going to do anything but that this time. Other than the obvious, just going across court. You can see Sampras covering the line. He's gone for the third option. And a bit cruel for Andre. And Pete on it in a flash. No mercy. Nets are obviously pulled very tight here at the Australian Open. That's what creates the high rebound off the top of the net. No particular rule as to the tension.
30 all.
Slightly nervous volley, just not hit with the same authority. Pushed deep and just long.
3 all, 30 all.
Pete has volleyed beautifully tonight. He has had to. Fine return straight down the line. Sampras shy of the service line, producing beautiful angled volley across court for the winner. Beautiful hands, gentle touch.
And again, the big first serve, holding him in good stead. He needs 4 games to 3 in the fourth set.
Seven Queensland's Summer of Tennis telecast. Brought to you by Advantage. All you need for total flea control.
Yeah, I just sat there and the doctor just said, well, congratulations. I couldn't believe it. We've got to organise the baby's room, the nursery.
Nursery? What do you reckon? Time for surf?
I'm hoping to later this year go for a trip to Maui, the windsurfing mecca. Really excited about it.
Actually, a year ago today, since we got engaged.
Hair trials, makeup trials. She's a very organised young woman.
Keeping healthy and fit.
Did you buy your NutraSweet?
With rewards for healthy behaviour, MBF's helping Steve, Lisa and Claire each prepare for their big day. For your lifetime cover, call MBF 132 623.
Here in the centre of the Sunshine Coast, in the centre of the Nicolin Way, you'll find Coastline BMW, the centre for all things BMW. The centre for the full range of BMWs. The centre for exceptional service, approved used BMWs and BMW finance. Now, the centre of attention is the new BMW 318i. Coastline BMW, Nicolin Way, Curramundi, the centre for all things BMW.
Average was just 150. He's being dealt with very severely.
$15 all. 30-15.
Ace number 7 for Andre.
Game magazine.
Change for Andre, a cheap game.
4 games over.
And
He needed it though, didn't he?
Yeah, and he's pumping himself up a little bit. He just stole a glance over to Brad Gilbert, who immediately gave him positive body language, clapped quickly about 3 or 4 times as if to say, come on, mate, you're still in there. And now when Andre's not looking at him, looks like he's having the hardest day of his life.
He's a character. 4 all.
Good return there. You can hear him say, let's go, Rock, let's go. That's his nickname for Andre.
Fine forehand volley, the racket cupped. It was always going to go across court.
$29 aces now to Sampras, 7 to Agassi.
Let's serve. Let us serve.
And now we're into the 30s. Ace number 30.
That's against the best returner of serve in the world.
Game Sampras.
So you're virtually starting every game against him at love 30 down. It makes it tough. 31 aces.
Sampras leads by 5 games to 4.
You know, I've been with Colonial State Bank for 10 years. In that time, I've seen them grow to 40 branches across southeast Queensland. They can help you with banking, super, investment and insurance. So drop in. I know they'd be happy to help you.
You'll be laughing too when you shop at Silly Solly's this weekend.
All Silly Solly stores open till 5 o'clock Saturday and Sunday.
Bernice, do you want anything in particular? This one's good. We've had this one before.
Oh, they're getting away.
It'd be great playing in front of all those people. Oh, hi, Dad.
Just called to see if my little girl's looking after herself.
Yes, Dad, your little girl is looking after herself.
97% fat-free. New larger serve Healthy Choice dinners. Healthy Choice is looking after yourself.
Gold, gold, gold! Marucci RSL's Pot of Gold, our biggest prize spectacular ever. Every time you enter the club, you could win some fabulous prizes and go into our super draw to win even bigger prizes. Holidays to Hong Kong and Hamilton Island, televisions, videos, Sony PlayStations, and hundreds of other weekly prizes. If you're not already a member, join today and get ready to play. Every time you swipe your member's card, you can be a Pot of Gold winner. What's at the end of the rainbow? Marucci RSL's Pot of Gold.
Marucci RSL. Oh, what a night!
Only broken serve once this match. Agassi's had 11 break points.